going through a gamut of emotions at this stage. There is anxiousness about future. There is also a nervous excitement. What we don't know scares us, but it also excites us. Some of you may want to continue studying. Others may be eager to get started on a job, maybe join family businesses. Some of you may start your own gigs. You want to be successful. Well, the problem is, the definition of success will change every time you stop to think about it. It follows Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. When I was in college, my definition of success used to be being able to hold down 20 shots of tequila. The most important lesson that I want to share with you today is also the most common. It's probably the most frequently told to the graduates all over. It is that always question, but never compromise with what you love doing. Not for your parents, not out of charity, not for society, not for money. Okay, well maybe for money, once you get there. From now on, what you think matters the most. I will share with you an incident that in retrospect is quite trivial, but loomed very large at the time on a 22-year-old with no means. When I had graduated, this was in Texas, the market was booming. Everyone had great opportunities. I wanted to work for a startup and become an overnight millionaire. Well, it did happen. Working for a startup, not a millionaire. There was a small company that really intrigued me. The VP sent me a handwritten note, and that and a fat sign-on bonus were very impressionable to my young mind. And so I joined it. I rejected all the other offers that I had with the characteristic arrogance of youth, and I joined it. The job was in a different town in Texas, and so I moved there lock, stock, and barrel. I got myself a shiny new car with my sign-on bonus. I signed a one-year lease in a nice posh apartment, and started my first job with a gusto. Life was smiling at me. 4 days into it, I realized this was exactly what I did not want to do. I was in a fix. I was alone in a foreign land. Knew absolutely nobody in town. I had $20 in the bank. First paycheck hadn't even come yet, and I had blown the sign up. My parents thought it was wanderings of a young mind, and admonished me that I spend a year before I do anything rash. My seniors warned me that it would look bad on my resume. There was another opportunity across the country in California, but it would require money to ship my car, money to break my knees, money to move to a new city, money that I didn't have, and very little confidence that the new job would be any better. My parents had gone all out in educating me, so I couldn't ask them for money if my life depended on it. Long story short, in the end, I made the abrasive decision to move. It was a decision that changed my life. It was my first foray into doing something that I truly loved. I learned a lot. I got to work with the likes of Greg Chesson, a big name in music conferences back then. The company also went on to being fairly successful. I met a very special person who's now my wife. It's as if a lot of good things were waiting for me just on the other side of that decision. When I made the decision, I was completely alone, lonely in doing so. And you will be as well. Sometimes you have to take a leap of faith, follow your heart. Think of being able to follow your heart as a big power that you hold in your hands. But with power also comes responsibility. Which brings me to my next lesson. So another aspect that I would like you to think about is integrity. What, incidentally, do we think integrity is? Is it the ability to not take a watch out of your neighbor's pocket? No, it's not as easy as that. If that were all, 95% of the humanity would be upright, honest people. Clearly that isn't the case. Integrity is the ability to stand by one idea. That presupposes the ability to think independently. Thinking is something one doesn't borrow or pawn. It has to come from within you. Lastly, I've always found it very hard to balance present and future. It's tempting to focus completely on one and forget the other. Think only on present, and you will end up living day to day as the most unimaginative person without dreams. Focus only on future, and you will be a vacuous dreamer who's furthest away from those dreams. G.B. Shaw explains one of the biggest ironies of life very simply in my favorite saying of his: youth is wasted on the young. I read a passage somewhere that I will quote for you. For a long time, it had seemed to me that life was about to begin, real life. But there always was some obstacle in the way, something to be gotten through first, some unfinished business, time still to be served, a debt to be paid, something to be completed first. Then life would begin, come my way. At last it dawned on me that these obstacles were my life. So don't let life pass you by while you wait for something. It's escapism to think that life is about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. It's important to always be wanting to learn and to grow. As Steve Jobs says, stay hungry, stay foolish. I always strive to be that, and I wish the same for you. In the end, I will leave you with the words of Howard Roark. I set my own standards. I inherit nothing. I stand at the end of no tradition. I may, perhaps, stand at the beginning of one. Thank you all.